word processing, presentation, spreadsheet, and then I also talked about some of the Google stuff just because it is prevalent. And one thing was Google email. And basically my target market was, it was broad, but it was mostly directed towards those people that don't have that professionalism or just the basic skills of technology. So this lesson is just strictly on Google email, the professionalism, the rules, and then actually applying those. So that's kind of where I'm at in the course. But within the lesson, I'm starting off like I've already talked to you guys about the rules and some parts of the professionalism. We're going over it, I'm giving you examples, and then you're actually applying it, because I feel like that's the best way to do things with email, is to apply it. And then if there's still time within those 20 minutes, I'll have each one of you share one of your emails. And I have things for you to reply to. Anyways, okay, so I guess I'll just start off already. Like we talked about earlier in class, what are some of the, I guess, email etiquette rules that everyone should know about before sending any kind of email? Tammy?
No caps.
Yes, no caps. Why?
Because it's shouty.
It's shouty. It comes off as being rude. Anything else? Brittany?
No text slang.
No text slang, yes.
Is unprofessional.
Yeah, so instead of spelling you, Y-O-U, you just put the letter U. Or like just, I don't know, because, BC.
Yeah, like don't say LOL in an email.
Yeah, because some people, believe it or not, don't know what that is. Laugh out loud.
Okay.
There you go, DJ. You learned something today.
I did.
All right, what else? Steve, anything?
Just the regular rules of grammar. You know,
Rules of grammar,
periods, punctuation, capitalization, spell check.
Use it. Yeah, those red squiggly lines.
Yeah.
I would say you have to like give some form of signature, even though it's not like an actual letter. It's basically a type of letter.
Right. So you should start out, dear so and so, or someone's professional name, Mrs., Mr., anything like that, and then you should also have a closing to it, right? Have a good day. Thanks. Something along those lines. Brianna Butler, right? Okay.
Make sure you have a subject line instead of like no subject. Make sure you have a subject line.
Yes. Why? Can you tell me why you should have a subject line?
So that way the email doesn't get discarded, or they'll know, kind of what it's about or something.
So it doesn't get overlooked or deleted.
Yeah.
Brittany?
I think going along with that, though, making sure that your subject line isn't super long.
Right.
Is,
Short and to the point.
Yeah.
Another thing I think with subject lines we talked about was the overuse of important or urgent, because when you overuse it, people are less likely to view it as important or urgent and overlook it. So only use those type of subject lines when it actually is important or urgent. Anything else? I can think of a couple other. Okay, well, what about carbon copy? CCing people? Remember anything we talked about that?
I mean, if it's important that someone else gets it, but like they're not like the main recipient of the email.
Yeah. So I guess what I would say is I would caution you with the carbon copies. Don't CC people that really don't need the email, that really don't care to read the email. So don't get too crazy with that. Let's see. I think you guys got all the basic ones.
What about reply all?
Yes. Reply all. Does anyone know what that is?
That's when someone sends a group email out to like a lot of people, and then you need to make sure that if you're going to send a personal or individual message back to the sender, you need to make sure you press simply just reply, because if you press reply all, you're going to send your message to every single person who got the original message.
I got an email last year, and it was one of those reply all deals, and this girl was telling the instructor about some very intimate personal problems that I mean, it was pretty about an operation she was gonna have, all of this stuff. I sent her an email and I said, you may want to make sure the file's not chosen. It was pretty
Did she
graphic.
tell you thank you?
Yes, she did.
After she probably
Yes.
already felt embarrassed.
Oh my gosh. And
That is embarrassing.
what's the etiquette if you get one of those? Just pretend you didn't?
I don't know.
read
I
it.
think it depends on the type of person, I guess. I probably would have done the same thing you did, like warn her so she doesn't keep continuing on that extensive,
Yeah, I mean,
intimate email.
tell me more, tell me more.
Yeah, I would definitely warn somebody. That way, I don't know. Yes, reply all. Definitely something to watch out for. Okay, so I think we've covered most of the rules. I mean, you could go on and on, be concise, answer all the questions that someone asks you if they're in the email. Right now, I have 2 examples I want you to look at, and I want you to tell me everything you see wrong with these. I mean, they are very, very wrong, and hopefully they make you laugh. But I made them today. So, the first one is this one. Can everyone see this? Whoa. Okay.
I know you live cooking. Cheese boogers.
All right. Who can tell me what is wrong with this monstrosity?
Can we talk about what's not wrong with it?
That might be easier, right? Okay, we'll just kind of name off a few and then we'll talk about.
The subject line first is
Yes.
the capital R.
That goes throughout the whole. There's like random like.
Mm-hmm.
Slang.
There's slang. There's people. I don't know. PPL. That stands for people. Learning new stuff. Yes.
It's not very professional to call somebody car or sign an email as Bree.
Or is that
Yes.
rye?
It's Bree. Don't call her that in public. She gets mad.
Okay.
Thank you.
What else? Carla.
The cheeseburger at the bottom.
Yes. The emoji. You don't want to use those.
All of the added punctuation.
Right here.
Yeah.
Misspellings.
Kind of comes off as rude. Oh, yes, the misspellings. The one thing I guess we didn't really talk about, what if I had a bunch of exclamation marks? What do you think that is? What do you think I'm, trying to do or say when I put a bunch of exclamation marks in front of something or behind something?
Or really mad.
Most people take it as you're really mad, kind of like the caps.
Yeah. It comes off as kind of like yelling.
Yeah. And your first impression of that person was like, whoa, they're being really rude,
But
inappropriate.
all the question
You're
marks,
automatically defensive.
all the question marks kind of comes like when people do that to me. It kind of comes off I'm like stupid. Like,
Yeah.
did you see this question? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, or I kind of take it as I need a response fast. I don't know. That's kind of like question mark. Like, can you reply quicker?
Well, you know what I'm getting out of that particular context is that you're saying like, please.
Yes.
You seem
Like I'm
desperate.
begging her.
Also, it's really
Especially
awkward
Go
about
ahead.
how they should bring a side dish.
Exactly.
That's
Kind of seems a little desperate. I feel like this is something that I feel like I've witnessed in real life.
I think that you want to have, make sure you're saying things in a way that, if they could bring a side dish, that would be
Right.
helpful.
It shouldn't say should. It should say could.
Or I would say.
And really,
if you
I
would
don't
like
even
to.
know if you should even ask
Ask
someone to bring.
them. Yeah, I mean,
If you're going to, I would almost say it needs to say something along the lines of, if you would like to bring a side dish,
Yeah.
make it like an optional thing.
Right. I mean, just the tone of it, basically, what your guys are getting at. It's not the fact that they're bringing the dish, it's the tone that they're talking about. Yeah, and the smiley face over here, which, I mean, some people don't mind at all, but, okay. Do you see anything else? I think we covered most of it.
yeah.
There's a lot of misspelling, there's a lot of just bad stuff going on here, right? Okay. So we agree, this is not what you should send to anyone
Yes.
personally
Not
or
even
in the
close
business.
personal
Yeah. Not even a close personal friend, exactly. And just to point out, I feel, what is it? Down here, thanks for doing this. It really means a lot. Well, you're asking them a question, they didn't even reply and say yes. It's kind of like,
So it's kind of like
you're already doing it, but
them.
thanks.
That's
I already
what
said you do
Please
it.
and thank you.
And then I need it ready by 7:30. Okay, so moving on. I have one more situation for you. Goes on and on and on. Okay? I'll let you read a couple of the paragraphs and see what you think. This one isn't as bad. However, there's one thing that I can point out right away that is kind of an issue.
Well, there's no subject.
Yeah, were we supposed to point it out right away? Wasn't sure.
Okay, so there's no subject line. You can come up here.
I'm going to.
If you want me to scroll down, let me know when you get to that point.
Your phraseology could be better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you supposed to have emails that long?
Exactly, DJ. Now, you're reading this and you're thinking, wow, this is a lot, right? Well, down here, sorry, I'm moving it on you guys. Down here it says, you're reading this entire email. And emails should not be more than, I think, at least 2 paragraphs. I think 2 paragraphs is way too long.
Like, I think the bullets are okay because that's
Yeah.
a fast read, but if you're writing actual paragraphs, no one wants to read that.
Exactly. And that's one thing we haven't talked too much about. I wanted to see what you guys thought about it. And down here it says, I would like to meet with you about what we discussed and listen to some of your opinions. Well, it's supposed to say opinions. On how to improve the department. Do you have free time in your schedule to discuss these matters this week? Let me know what time works for you and we can meet. Thanks, Becky Smith. Well, you just wrote me a book. Why do we have to meet?
Right.
You could have said, this email could have been done in a sentence. Hi, Carla. I know you missed the meeting. Maybe a couple
You could have
sentences.
used like the first paragraph and the
Yeah.
last paragraph. And
Right.
it would have been a perfect email.
Exactly. Can I meet and discuss with you about some of the things we talked about in this meeting? I'd like to see hear some of your opinions. Bam. Email's done. Instead, this person wrote a full story about what happened in that meeting. Okay? So the main idea for this email is not too long. Make sure you're phrasing things short and concise. And then your subject line. Personally, I don't even really open no subjects because usually it's like spam or one thing or another unless I really recognize the person's email. Then I'll open it. But other than that, I don't know about you guys. How about I know some of you are working right now. I don't know how often you use email. Steve, do you open emails with no subject line?
It depends. If I know the sender, I open them. If not, they go straight to
Or if I recognize the name of the email.
Okay.
Like if it's at bgsu.edu.
Yeah. So if you think it's of
Whichever.
importance, you open it. Okay. So there we go. All right, moving on. Now that we've kind of talked about some of the rules, and I've given you some of these examples, and we've discussed a lot of the rules. What I want you to do is go ahead and sign on to your Google email, and I'm going to pass out 2 emails that you have received. Pretend that you've received these emails and you have to respond back to them. I'll go over these before you start. Yeah, you can use your phone.
Can I have one?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, no.
No, I'd be like,
I feel like I wasted that. Okay. So the first one is you are going to respond to a very upset customer who is not does not use very good grammar or spelling and is extremely angry with some of your employees. Now, yesterday in class, I showed you some of the basics to Google email. I taught you how to CC. I showed you where all the buttons were and stuff like that. And we kind of discussed how you might go about customer complaints, responding to a boss's email, things like that. So this is one of those situations. You have an upset customer and you need to, A, calm them down a little bit, B, consider what they're proposing to you. However, you need to think about your company as well. And then find out from your employees, obviously, what happened with this woman. Now, the next one, if you look at that one, it's a little bit lengthy. However, it's about this time you're an employee at Butler Incorporated, and what's happening at Butler Incorporated, they want to go green, and they want your opinion on it. And then you have to CC someone. So I would read that email and then reply to that. You are replying to these emails by my Gmail account, which is at the bottom of the second one. The Go Green. It's bbutler2014@gmail.com, and I also tell you who to CC in this email as well. Does anyone have any questions? Once you're finished with this, if we have some time left in class, I'll ask a couple of you to share some of your responses.
Yes.
Yeah, you're just reading it and then you're coming up with your own response to these emails. Make sure you are considering all the rules that we've discussed over the past 2 days as well, or the previous class and this one.
hoping we get to read tonight.
Want to share it with us?
Yes, just read
Just
it out
read
loud.
it.
Dear Miss Johnson,